Good afternoon and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I will be making some lime drizzle cookies. You will need 250 grams of plain flour, 125 grams of butter, 1 lime, 1 flat teaspoon of baking powder, and 3 eggs, and 125 grams of caster sugar. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Place the cubed butter into a bowl, add sugar and cream it with a wooden spoon until light and fluffy. Add 125 grams of sugar, caster sugar in this case. Cream with a wooden spoon until light and fluffy. This is what the creamed butter and caster sugar should look like. And next you'll need to add 3 eggs, one at a time, beating with a whisk until fully incorporated. Grams of plain flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. But first you must measure the flour accurately and sift it into the bowl to prevent lumps. Now, only use 1 flat teaspoon of baking powder for this recipe. This is because if you add excessive baking powder, you'll make the biscuits too bitter to consume and they'll essentially be a laxative. Grate the zest of 1 lime into the bowl with the rest of the ingredients. Next, you'll need to mix all these ingredients together with a wooden spoon and make sure you've grated all of the zest off the lime before mixing. A baking tray with grease-proof paper before you have to put the cookies on and put them in the oven. Add a bit of extra plain flour to the bowl and flour your hands, and then get shaping the dough into cookies, individually of course. Now, get shaping the cookie dough into golf balls, slightly press them flat and place them on the tray individually. What the golf apple slice should look like. Also, please note that the cookie dough is very sticky, so you might need to reflour your hands at times to ensure you actually make a decent cookie and they'll go on the tray without problem. Here are the cookies placed on the tray above baking paper. Place them in the oven for 10 minutes until golden brown and somewhat chewy. Can't wait to tuck into these tasty treats. Oh yeah! One recommendation I have is, if you have a lot of the cookie dough and a small or medium baking tray, you may have to cook in batches, one set at a time. Now, place the cookies on the tray into the oven for 10 minutes and let the magic begin to transform into some citrusy goodness. Abracadabra! Here is the fantastic lime drizzle cookies. That will have to be cooled on a cooling rack first, and after that they'll be topped with icing made of lime juice. Can't wait to tuck into these beauties right here. Look at these. Place the freshly baked cookies onto the cooling rack and allow them to cool for an hour or so before adding the wonderful lime juice icing, which I'll be showing you how to make later, so stay tuned for that. Now I'm going to make the wonderful citrusy lime juice icing to top these cookies with. You'll need the juice of 1 lime and some icing sugar. Use 50 grams of icing sugar and sieve it first to ensure no lumps ruin the icing. Now, for the lime juice icing, you squeeze the lime with a juicer, a hand juicer to be specific, into a cup or glass, but you only need 1 tablespoon of the lime juice to ensure a thick icing. A teaspoon of icing on each cookie, decorating it accordingly. Also spread it out if needed. Or drizzle it if you desire, it's up to you. Don't worry, it does not have to necessarily be super even. Once you finish drizzling, you need to leave it for about half an hour to an hour to ensure the icing dries, and they'll be ready to eat straight after that. Now, I wonder how these freshly baked cookies will taste. Let's find out. These are so friggin' citrusy and delicious.